Hi, I'm Tiffany Howard, and this is how to know if something is right for you. We're all so busy these days. At least that's what we tell ourselves. We're busy. I love when people tell me that. I think it's hilarious because it comes from the mind. But anyway, I digress. So how to know if something is right for us? Well, let's say you get an invitation to go to a party or invitation on Facebook to join a group, or you invited to go to a church or a political event or a club event, anything. How do you know if that is right for you? Well, couple ways. The way I do it is I go within. I pay attention to my body. I listen to what my body is telling me. I ask myself, is this fun? Do I really want to do it? I don't respond right away. I sit with it. Sometimes my intuition, my feeling, my higher self, consciousness will give me a message or a sign to let me know whether or not this something is right for me, is in my best and highest good. You see, sometimes we just like to sign up for something that is not in our best and highest good. Why? We may be feeling guilty, we want to please. Doing something to please someone else is not loving. I'll just tell you that point blank. If you're doing something because you want to please, because you want approval, because you don't want to upset someone, or you don't want to suffer the consequences of saying no, is not loving, it's not honesty, and it's not living in integrity. When we do something that is pleasing to us, pleasing to our higher self, pleasing to spirit, God, consciousness, then we do not betray our soul. When we do things that we want to do, truly want to do, then that is loving. So, what do I do? And what can you do? You can go within yourself. All the answers are within. They're not outside of ourselves. We are connected to the one mind which makes us of the one mind, the presence, the higher intelligence, consciousness, and energy that flows within us, through us, that is us. So you connect with that and you ask yourself, is this for my best and highest good? Do I really want to do this? Is it fun for me? Then pay attention to how your body is feeling, which is another talk. You have to spend time with yourself to know your body, because your body is a truth teller. Your body will give you signs, indications as to whether or not something is in your best and highest good. Now, I like to close my eyes, because when I'm closing my eyes, I'm tapping into that higher consciousness and I'm feeling the energy in my body. And I do that quite a bit. That's just who I am. It may not be you. You can feel in different ways. Let me give you an example of how I determined whether or not something was right for me. I sort of like to test my intuition. I sort of like to test consciousness. So I was reading the paper on a Saturday, and I looked through and I saw in the paper that there would be Sunday service at this particular church that I was curious about. Right then and there, I asked Spirit, is this in my best and highest good? Spirit said no. But I was still curious. You know, sometimes I like to ignore Spirit because we have free will. We don't have to do everything Spirit tells us to do, even though Spirit knows what's in our best and highest good, right? So I decided to ignore Spirit, and I decided I was going to go to that church on Sunday, the next day. So I woke up, and again, I wasn't feeling like going to the church, but I wanted to. See, ignoring my feeling, my intuition. And I asked again, Spirit, is this in my best and highest good? Spirit said, yes. I also know, because I've done this enough times, that when you ask Spirit the same question over and over, Spirit changes the answer because your first answer is the answer. But I like to test it. I'm still in this human body. So I knew when Spirit said no, that Spirit was telling me, I'm annoyed. You keep asking the same question, so I'll give you a different answer. I gave you the one that was in your best and highest good the first time. So Spirit said no that morning, and I said, well, Spirit, I'm going to go to this church because I need to find out for myself why you said it wasn't in my best and highest good. There's no harm. I'm spending time in a church. No harm in that other than me wasting my time. So I go to the church. I walk into the church. I sit down. There are a few people in the church. More people start coming, and right away I get this yucky feeling in my body. Actually, my left side here. I start getting pains and yucky feeling. I'm like, oh, this is heavy here. The energy here is not as high of a vibration as I am. I say that lovingly. I feel it in my body. So I close my eyes. I don't care what people think about me. I close my eyes and I sit there the entire service with my eyes closed, and I decide to radiate love and my energy throughout the church. So I'm sitting there. I open my crown chakra. I ask Spirit to shine white light through my crown chakra, and then I radiate that around the entire church, holding space of love for this church and the people in the church. I listened to the sermon while doing this, and I realized that everything that the Reverend has said, I posted a week before. So I laugh and giggle at that because Spirit has a sense of humor. And I pick up on other things. I realize with the pain in my side and the yucky feeling that this being here is not in my best and highest good, that actually I cannot be fed by this church. My soul could not be fed by the energy, the consciousness in the church. Why? Because the vibration is lower than mine, and I seek to continually raise my vibration. So I'm there radiating love for the church, holding my vibration of love and peace and kindness, and hoping that that facilitates the raising of the vibration of the energy in the church and the people who are there to accept that. And I decide that it's not in my best and highest good. So service is over, and one of the greeters come over to bring me a guest card to fill out, and I tell him no thank you, and he says, well, did you like the service? And I said, I'm sitting with it, because that's the most loving thing I could think of to say. I'm sitting with it. I didn't want him to waste the card, give it to someone else who may need it. I didn't feel that I needed it. And then when I said that, I hear the voice, my higher self, the voice of my higher self of consciousness say that I don't need to be a part of an organized group to get what I need. And I'm saying it in complete sentences because Spirit usually for me doesn't speak in complete sentences. I have to put this together. But I get the feeling that I don't need this for my spiritual development. So I greet people and we hug and all that, and I go outside and this gentleman comes over to me and he says, I could feel your energy from the back of the church. It engulfed the church. And I said, yes. He says, who are you? And I laugh. And I said, well, if you could feel my energy, then you know. And some other people come up and they meet me, and then the pastor comes over and he says, I hope you're coming back to the church. And I said, I'm sitting with it. And I meet some more people. The pastor comes over 2 other times. That's my dog Justice, if you're hearing barking. And says, I hope you're coming back. And I smile and I shake his hand. And I leave it at that because I don't have to explain. I could have said, no, I'm not coming back, or again, I'm sitting with it. But it's not for me to explain. I don't owe anyone an explanation. I'm not obligated to give an explanation. I did the most loving thing that I could do. I did what I wanted to do, which is shake his hand and smile and share love with him. You can do the same thing. You can do what's in your best and highest good. It may not be what I have shared with you. You have to sit with yourself every day, make time to get to know yourself and know how you pick up on cues and messages and how you connect with your higher self. You have to constantly communicate. It's okay to talk to yourself, with higher consciousness and ask, what's in my best and highest good? Is this in my best and highest good? Come up with your own way. It's within. I'm just reminding you. Everything that you need to know about what's right for you is within. You just have to tap into it. And if you don't get an answer right away and you're conflicted, you can always tap to relieve the energy of confusion. Once that is gone, an answer will come. Thank you for your time and energy and love. Spirit loves you. I love you. This has been how to know if something is right for you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Namaste.